Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. I got Coach Chris here with me today. Coach Chris, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, travels overseas to play tournaments. Why does he do that? Don't we have enough tournaments here in America? Stay tuned.
What are you doing?
Hey, Coach. I'm ricing. I hurt my ankle, so ricing.
Ricing?
Ricing.
You mean rest, icing, compression, and elevation?
Rice? All right, Coach Chris, you 4 or 5 times a year leave for like 3 to 6 weeks at a time, and you go off and play your tournaments, pro level, is it ITFs, can you say? Okay. Why do you do that?
I think that there's not enough tournaments around, at least our part of California. There needs to be a little bit more. And so one of the reasons why I do that is just because that there's more frequency of tournaments when I go abroad, or it doesn't have to be overseas, it could be Mexico, right? Or something like that, where you're going to a place where you can play as many matches as you can.
Right. The place that you always tell me you go to is the place that Ange Jabeur
to Tunisia.
Tunisia, right.
So there's a place in Monastir for sure that they have some ITFs there. Are we selling that for them? It feels like we're pushing them.
No, because the reason I'm asking that specific place is whenever you go there, it sounds like it's back to back to back to back to back tournaments. Yeah. And it's like never ending. So it's always a tournament there.
Yeah, I don't see that here in the US. It's spread out a little bit more. Maybe Florida has a few, but it's always like some in this part of the state, some in that part of the state. And I'm not sure if that's more logistical, money, finance, but it's a lot easier to play tournaments abroad when there's, tournaments at the same location, week in, week out.
Right. So Tunisia is the number one that comes to mind.
Egypt
just because
is another one.
Egypt is another one. Okay.
Antalya is another one.
Where?
Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Antalya is another one too, right?
And then you say you go to Mexico.
Mexico is another one. So they have frequency of tournaments there that you can play and train, throughout the week, and then play your tournament if you can get in on the weekend.
Got it. So how does it work when you get to Tunisia?
You get into Tunisia, you go through customs, and then when you're there, you basically, before you even go, you make sure that you have the right visa. You talk to the tournament director, and then from there you arrange accommodations, how long you're going to stay. So then when you arrive there, everything should be sorted with your room and everything like that. If you don't have a roommate, you can find one there too to make things a little bit cost effective. And then you focus on your training, throughout the week, and then prepare for the tournament. Prepare for your match on the weekend if you can get in.
How hard is it to register, qualify, and let's start with those two: register and qualify.
It's pretty easy just to register. I think it's an open type thing, so anyone can really do it. It's hard to get in though, right? You need a certain amount of ranking points to get in, and it's difficult if you don't have any. It goes by ITF points. Sorry, national ranking, ITF point, and then ATP point. So all those things factor in whether or not you get into the tournament. But I think at least that if you're there, you've got a good, training environment, a good practice. The amount of players that are there that are looking for practice is a lot, and you can make the use of it. I'm sure there are a lot of players. You guys know who those players are that are out there always just playing eight times a day.
Grinding.
Yeah,
grinding.
They're there. Exactly. They're there. So
the tennis bums, as we call them.
Yeah, so they're there. But I mean, it's there's I don't think there's as many of places that are like that in the U.S.
I can't think of one.
So it's a different thing too as well. Like the culture for tennis is different, viewed differently there than it is here. It's kind of like American football, right? For us, priority. Europe has soccer, right? Yeah. Football, other football. I mean, you kick it with your foot. That one, not American football. So it's just different priorities, different cultures, different how you've been raised, how things have been set up there. That provides for more of a tennis or background, or more of a where you've been born. So that's it.
Right. Now, I'm guessing from what you've told me in the past that it's pretty affordable to do this.
Yeah, you can definitely for a good price. You can for sure go there for a couple weeks and get a good rate to do that. Just staying there. It's definitely doable. I mean, it's for sure cheaper than if you were to go for the Amalfi Coast, or if you're going to go to, I don't know, Mykonos or in Greece, or those other fancy, nice places out there. So, but if you want to really play tennis, it's dedication. So
right now, Tunisia is clay or hard
Tunisia
court?
is hard court.
Oh, that surprises me actually. So most of the places that you name, Egypt, Turkey, are those hard courts or
Turkey
clay?
is clay, I think. Okay. Turkey is clay.
Got it. But the rest is hard court?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like American hard court?
Like really fast, sort of. They're hard. Yeah, okay. They're hard. There are different types of hard courts too, but they are the hard court, standard hard court that you see. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then the draw is 32, 64?
It could be 32 or 64 for qualies, and then 32 for main draw.
Whoa, okay. So your quali is a big draw, and then you get into the 30.
Qualies are normally bigger. It's either 32 or 64, and then the main draw is 32.
Wow.
With people possibly moving up and down depending on the ranking points and who pulls out last minute.
Who's the best player that's on tour that you've ever seen?
At the moment, who I've seen play?
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, just going off of last year, I'd say Liam Draxel would be a good one. He's like 200. I think he was there in Mexico. He was really good. He was trying to, I think, play this 115K so he can get enough points to go play and qualify for the Australian Open. I think but it's an exception. But you still can go for these tournaments and play. I don't think he dropped a set.
Wow. So you earn points as like a winner or runner up.
Yeah.
Or even maybe semis, depending upon the level of the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Any
tips for everybody out there who may want to be doing this?
I think the biggest tip is making sure that you've got enough money to do it. You got enough money and that you're willing to put in the work, right, to make the use of it. Because there are some times where either you don't get a court to practice, you have to be willing to put in the time to get the most out of it. So it's like, I don't really see it as vacation as much as he says it's vacation. He says all the time, where are you going on vacation next?
Resort, man, resort. Tennis
I don't
resort.
see it like that because I've mostly been, training my butt off on the courts, finding people to hit with. So it's really whatever you do to make the most out of it. If you feel like that is worth your time, then for sure you got to make sure you do it with it too. But then, of course, I'm balancing that out with some local tournaments and then seeing if I can test myself out at these RTFs. So there's a good, hybrid and mix and match of it.
Okay, so let's say somebody wants to do this for 2 to 3 week period.
Okay.
What, including flight there and back, lodging, food, tournament entries, maybe string jobs, what would be a good estimate as to what they should save up for? 5, 10,000
For 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks? Dude, no. Hold on. That's too much.
Good.
10K for 3 weeks? No, guys.
That's what Disney World costs.
That's what? Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it does.
What?
Disney World will run you like 10K for a family of 4 for 5 freaking days.
Jesus Christ.
Probably
No.
10K can't even do it.
It's not Disneyland. I mean, again, you don't go to these places just for holiday. You go to them to play tennis.
So
I don't think so. I mean, a flight, how much? $1,000, right? So $1,000 already there.
yeah.
Depends if you're staying for 3 weeks. You can,
Nightly, $100 a
probably
night.
another $1,000, maybe
Okay.
a little bit more than $1,000. So maybe say 1,500. So you're already 2,500, and then if you already paid, it's all inclusive in some of these places, so they can include meal, then string. I mean, yeah, maybe around 3K, a little bit more.
3K for 3 weeks.
I think so. Yeah,
Wow, 1,000 a week
probably
to compete.
if you want to put in the time and effort into that. Yes, it can get quite expensive.
That's not bad. 3K for 3 weeks ain't bad.
Yeah, if you do it really well. I think if you can budget it.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I mean, I'd probably, if you are a little bit more well off, then you can probably, factor in a little bit more. But yeah, I'd say something like that. And then obviously, if you do win, you can make your money back.
There you go. Any pros tips for the viewers out there?
Yeah, I guess really make sure you contact the site first before you travel. So really make sure you know how to get there and ask around before you commit. So like if you're going to go to Uganda, if you're going to look to see if you're going to play in those places where there's war or there's famine or there's all that other stuff going on, then you might want to check in with the area or people who've been there before you commit to just saying, I'm going to go.
I have a question. Like, out of all the places you've been to, what is, let's say, the safest, cleanest, and best out of all the places in the world that you've been to?
I'd say Antalya is up there, but it's like a resort, right? So a lot of these places end up having their tournaments in around a resort place, but Antalya has definitely got some nice...
That's Turkey?
Turkey, yeah.
Okay.
It's got some nice places to stay. I mean, most of them are... They are built to make sure that they're safe. So... But the nicest ones, yeah, from that I'm saying that you can go with frequency would be like Antalya.
Okay.
Would be a nice one. They have some very nice like resort hotels that you stay in.
Got it.
Greece is another really good one that they have that are really good that you can stay there. It's really, they make it as try to give you a player discount. They try to make it as affordable as they can. But it's still pricey still, right? I mean, as a player, you still want to find the cheapest option. But I mean, I haven't been to certain other places, so I can't say
Right.
where those other places are. But I can say that the ones I've been to I've checked them out. So yeah,
All right.
you can look at it as Chris gives them a thumbs up for travel guide.
All right, cool. Thank you, Coach Chris, for sharing your experiences out on tour here. Where can they find you?
You can find me at CB Chen Tennis.
And
That's
it. Guys, so if you want to play tournaments, there are places in the world that you can go to and play consistently week after week. And they are overseas. They will give you definitely competitive matches in which you can, you have to go through qualifying draws and then a main draw so that you can, tune your skills and maybe be a pro someday. All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.